Okay, this I put together a couple years ago when the state of Indiana Historic Preservation Commission had their annual conference here, and I had these in the window. It's the history of my mother and father's family, as well as the history of this building. My dad's dad came here in the early 1900s from Slovakia. My grandmother was from Poland, so he could work at Standard Oil. And my dad grew up on Reese Avenue, which is one of the German family names. And we now live in my wife's grandma's house on Reese Avenue, down the street from where my dad lived. So my dad was an entrepreneur. He worked on and off at the mill. When he would get laid off and stuff, he would start a business. So we started this one in 1941 and then moved into the larger one. And we grew up over the store. And we had everything. It was like Walgreens without a pharmacy. We had everything, including a soda fountain. We had the Robertsdale post office. We had, and in the old days, in order to get from Chicago to Notre Dame, you came down the boulevard. Then we get people like, I don't remember, my dad would tell me, like Bing Crosby and Bob Hope. People like that going to Notre Dame would stop in and buy whatever. And they would always pay by check. Because they knew you would never cash that check. Because you had their autograph. Seriously. And like I said, if I didn't already say that Johnny Mosto, who was a retired White Sox player, and came back home to Whiting, and just lived 2 blocks from the store. So our store was like that. You see it in the old days where the guys would sit around the stove and talk about the good old days. We had the Robertsdale post office. My dad did sell those little football cards and parlay cards and stuff. It was great. So then, but in between here, he did, if I hadn't already mentioned it, he did get boat rides from this kiddie land down the Wolf Lake Channel, around the island in Wolf Lake, back to there. Then they were WGN TV, Ray Rayner, Two-Ton Baker, the Candlestick Maker, Garfield Goose. They were all the stars that would come to Maryland, it was called. Mr. Softy was like a Dairy Queen on wheels my dad bought when I was a junior, and I was Mr. Softy. And I had a buddy whose parents owned a milk delivery. So when our routes were done, we'd sit in the back row of Arts Drive-In, which was on the corner of the boulevard and Kaiman Avenue, because we were really cool. My mom and dad were both artists, and they opened up a Sandrick picture frame and gallery. My dad used to frame everything like that over your shoulder there. This is my cousin Bill, who's an attorney. And this is our insurance agency that my wife and I started in 1980 with nothing when our kids were all in school. And we built it up. And then, it was 1987. I insured this building, and the lady was ready to sell it, so we bought it and moved in here in 1987. So then that was my dad's family. And we're the last one. We're the last Sandricks left in Whiting. When we have the Progy Fest, my cousin Bill rents one of those beer bicycle things, and I have a seat of honor because I'm the only Sandrick left.